Today we meet Busisani Sibiya, whose emotional Facebook post went viral after buying his mom a brand new car. He says that he is who he is today because of her. Nomathemba Mhlambi, a single mother and domestic worker for many years, worked extremely hard to support her kids and give them the life and opportunities that she was not afforded. She too joins us via Zoom today, and this story won the hearts of many as this narrative is shared by just so many South Africans. Mawam no putwam. Welcome to Afternoon Express. Now, ngifuna nje uqala, before I start with the post that I feel is so important to share, of course, just a brief part of caption yako. Butwam Busisani, you wrote about your mother. You worked as a cleaner, earning 1,200 Rand a month, but still managed to put food on our table. You would pick up food in dustbins from OR Tambo and bring them home for us to eat. You would go sell sweets at schools and put food on the table. Sometimes you would come home with only sold 5 Rand worth of sweets, and I'd be so excited knowing that I'd be able to buy bread that day. It is for this reason I always buy from people selling stuff on the street and at the traffic lights, even when I don't need those things that they sell, because I know what it means to them. Now, Butwam, you just set the scene so perfectly for us here to understand the life that you and your siblings grew up with. But from those few lines, we can already see and gauge. So if you were to paint that picture, Busisani, of the tough upbringing that you and your siblings had.
So I think, like you would have read, we post Uti, my mother raised us as a single parent, and things were tough. Most of her life she wasn't working. And really trying to help us put food on the table. And she would do like very informal kind of jobs. So I remember, for example, at some point in Lokshini, back in the early 2000s or late 90s, Maba went to some parks. They needed to plant uchani and stuff so that abantu bazodlala ibhola and stuff. And then what happened was, my mother got that job as well, and she would literally go there exhaling or 8, come back or 6, and akhole 5 Rand in ilanga, and they would pay them weekly. So every Friday she would come home with 25 Rand. I would get and I'd say, okay, senza njani ngale mali le, and we'd all decide ukuthi senza njani ngayo. And I think early 2000 she got a job at Port as a cleaner, and she was only earning 1,000 Rands, and as a cleaner, she would then beg abantu, and then mabalahlile. Like I think there's a bakery on a daily basis. She would then go there, pick up ukudla dustbin, and then sugudle. I think one of the things I remember now, and it's actually emotional for me, is one of the things I love, drive horse. And I remember, I think twice or thrice, she picked up a drive horse at dustbin, and we didn't know what it was. So I tata sa biggest stuff inside food to maize and or peggy papa, sadly papa on the drive horse. So I think that is how she raised us, and those are some of the challenges that she went through with us, trying to get us to where we are now.
Wow, such a touching story. Mama, I'm going to come to you just now. But I can only imagine, Busisani, as you're just going on, thinking about where you come from. As a young boy, what dreams and hopes did you have for Umawako? And of course, did you want to take care of her like you have been able to do?
Yes, I think growing up, I really saw how much she sacrificed for us. Some of the jobs she did, were very dangerous. I think at some point, and my mother is very terrified of snakes, very, very terrified of snakes. She can't even stand seeing a snake on TV. But she took a job where, Behamba clean a cage, in Taben and stuff. And on 2 occasions, she came face to face with a snake. And when I thought about all those things and, the sacrifices she made, I think growing up, I always firstly wanted to be successful. I always wanted to make it in life, number one. Secondly, I always wanted to then say, when I do make it one day, I want to go back to her and then say to her, thank you for all the sacrifices we've made. And so that's always been my thing, which I always want to come back and say to her, thank you for all that you've done, trying to get us to where we are.
That's so beautiful to hear. Mama, welcome to the show, Mam Nomathemba. You told people that your son was a CEO and the CEO of your heart. Now, how proud of you of Inganyako and, of course, all that he's accomplished, all those aspirations that you wished for him?
Palisa, empilweni yami mina ngangithe ngifuna ukuthi abe udoctor. Kodwa bakhuluma bathi ngelinye ilanga lalela ku TV bathi abantwana singabo bakhethela ukuthi thina abazali kumele umntwana ayenzeni.
Yeah.
Umntwana azichoosele ne. Okay kulapho ke ngavele ngayekela yonke into ngakhohlwa ngazitshela ukuthi no ithi ngimiyeke yena ayenze le afuna ukuyenza. Uyayibona njengoba namhlanje sekayi lecture nje na ke.
Wow.
Kusho ukuthi
Yeah, kuyangithokozisa ngempela ukulalela nje ukhuluma ma, because I believe that what you have set yourself up with is a strong, committed, focused son with a very strong support system and foundation. But now this has led us to the reason we're here today. I mean, why did you then decide to surprise Umawako with a brand new car? Can you just take us through that day? And then Mama, when you were of course presented Nale Moto, how did you feel?
hey Balisa, hey uyazi ngiyabonga uNkulunkulu kakhulu into yokuqala ngoba namhlanje lo mntana wenze lokho angenzele kona kungenxa yomusa nje kaNkulunkulu ngoba abantu bethu bayakhohlwa uma sebe right bayakhohlwa emuva ukuthi sibuya phi nabo Balisa.
Yeah.
So ngengabonga kakhulu uNkulunkulu ithe noma asho athi mama ngibonga konke lokhu owawusenzela kona sisakhula ungumama usingle. Balisa ngezwe nje ukuthi ngifikelwa yinyembezi ngoba ngazi ukuthi la ngibuya khona emuva ngibuya phi Balisa. Bokunzima kangakanani empilweni yami ngalabantwana into ngangifise nje ukuthi bafunde baqede isikolo babe yilokho abafuna ukuba yikho uyayibona nangempela abantwana bakhula bangilalela bafunda baba yilokho abayikho namhlanje.
Absolutely. Hake nathi sithe ngeke sikwazi ukuhlala phansi sinibukele celebrating love and being just that incredible family structure that you are. So this Monday, Tina Nati, we've got a surprise of our own. Mama, I do know that you are a huge fan of a certain television show, and on that television show kukhona umama naye opresenta njengami. Igama yalo mama, the host of the television show, uNomsa Buthelezi Shezi. And of course, we've got a special message from uNomsa. Take a look at this, Mom.
Hi, hello, sanibonani, dumelani, absheni, igama lami nguNomsa Buthelezi Shezi. Abanthandayo bathi uGomora Diva namhlanje ngibonile ukuthi hayibo, let me be part of this celebration, celebrating a phenomenal woman, umama Nomathemba Mhlambi. Sifundile ngestory sakho mama, and we are very inspired when we saw your son buy you a car. Yazi ukuthi mawumama ukhulisa abantwana bakho kunzimeni, kodwa bathi ukuzala ukuzelula. Mama uyazelula manje, imivuzo iyavela. Ngithi uNkulunkulu angidlodlobalisa kupha amandla futhi ngoba konke okusebenzele kuyabonakala. Ufana nabo mama bethu abasikhulisile ebunzimeni, kodwa wena wahlala ethembeni, wahlala wathi uNkulunkulu uzokupha amandla. Ngempela siyabona ngamehlo wethu ngosi ukuthi hayibo ntombazana sohamba ngalento bathi yebo sohlangana emarobotini. Siyakuthanda sana sihamba. We're celebrating you.
How are you feeling seeing someone that you love, someone that you idolize and follow very closely, saying such beautiful words about you and your son?
Hey, ngiyabonga and ngibonga isurprise engitholile namhlanje ngoNomsa. Ngihlale ngimbone ku Our Perfect Wedding, ngijabule makakhuluma ngihleke ngi1 na ku TV mangihlele sitting room. Ngihlekise nje ukuthi unama jokes, crack ama jokes. Ukumbona namhlanje ekhuluma engibongisa naye.
Ah, beautiful.
Ngiyabonga inkosi imbusise.
Ake ngiyanibonga ke Mam Nomathemba, all the best. I'm just asking for God to continue to bless not only you and Ubusisani but the entire family as a unit, because it's essentially stories like this that motivate the rest of us. Nihambeni kahle. Siyabonga.
Siyabonga Balisa. Thank you.
Ake Mzansi, who knows, if you give love, you might be receiving love, just like Umam Nomathemba.